Victor Wembanyama has been the main talk in basketball for the past couple of months now. Ahead of the 2023 NBA draft, the French unicorn was hyped as one of the best prospects ever, and he is now on his journey to prove that statement. Wembanyama has been getting better, game after game, and has had a terrific rookie campaign. Players, coaches, fans, and analysts have been talking about him non-stop. Let's see what some of the great NBA players from the past have had to say about Victor. Richard Jefferson is probably one of the more underrated players in NBA history. The best player to never make the All-Star game played in the NBA for 17 seasons and remained serviceable during his later days, even after his athleticism started to fade away. RJ was productive because of his basketball knowledge, and that is probably why he is such a popular analyst right now. Ahead of the 2023 NBA draft, Jefferson was a huge fan and believer in Victor, and even went as far to say that he would pick Victor ahead of LeBron James if the two were in the same draft class.
This, to me, is the most important part of his game. The fact that he can post up. Again, he's got the footwork. Those size 20s are working right now. Here, look, he's working, he's bouncing, step back. He's got a step back jumper already at 7'4". A step back jumper is next level. Now, again, here, out here in space, look, working, taking the time. He's handling contact. When he elevates, there's no one there. That basically means he's shooting in a gym by himself. And when you can do that, players' accuracy goes up. But this is the one thing I want to say. Zachary said that he is the best prospect we've seen since LeBron James. If LeBron James, at that exact moment, showed up, Victor would go higher than him. LeBron James and all the things that we saw, and I'm not saying that he's going to be better than LeBron James. What I am saying is right now, I remember LeBron James 20 years ago. That player was 6'7". This person is 7'4". LeBron James would be number 2. If he was the exact same age coming in the exact same draft, LeBron James would be number 2. That's how crazy this kid is as a prospect.
Jalen Rose is Richard Jefferson's rival for the best player to never make an All-Star game. The 1999-2000 Most Improved Player is now an NBA analyst as well, and is of course a big fan of Wemby as well. Let's see why Jalen is such a fan of Victor, and why he gave him the blank check nickname.
Well, I appreciate his maturity. We got a chance to watch the interview he did when he sat down with our game crew. And shout out to Jeff Van Gundy. I appreciate the love of my brother. And Mark Jackson. But that age, that maturity off the floor, Cassidy, you can tell clearly translate to a player that wears a size 20 and a half shoe. And with a long name like that, everybody's want to try to come up with a nickname for him, right? And one of my favorite Hall of Fame players is Kevin Garnett. And his nickname was the Big Ticket. Until somebody come up with a nickname for him, I'm gonna just call him Blank Check. That's what he represents to me. He already sitting front row, deservedly so, wearing his Buffaloes. We talking about him. Adam Silver's talking about him. LeBron called him an alien. KD's talking about how he's gonna change the league. Teams are tanking for him right now. And so let me just also point this out. The teams that are tanking, and Woj was just talking to me about this, 14% chance to get number 1. But you got a 27% chance to get 1 or 2. So of course, Victor deserves to be the headline, but the story might be Scoot Henderson, who's gonna go number 2.
Yet another player to never be named an All-Star, but turned out to be a great analyst. Probably the best analyst in the NBA world, JJ has been indecisive when it comes to who should win the 2023-24 Rookie of the Year title between Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama.
I'll be honest with you. Steve Jones, Nekias Duncan from the Dunker Spot, we all caught a lot of backlash from San Antonio Spurs Twitter. Our pick at the time, and again, this is the thing, we are explicitly stating at this time, I give a slight edge to Joel Embiid for MVP. At the time we recorded a few weeks ago, I gave the slight edge to Chet. Wemby's play, particularly over the last 6 weeks since he moved to center full-time, has been spectacular. And we can recognize that San Antonio as a team is pretty much a mess. We can recognize the pieces around him aren't going to necessarily lead to a play-in or playoff spot, but what he's doing is remarkable. Right now, I feel like this is neck and neck.
The last guy with 0 All-Star appearances on this list, Kenny Smith, is excited to watch Victor grow into the potential face of the league, something that Kenny believes Wemby not only has the talents, but the expectations to accomplish once the older guy's rule comes to an end.
Well, Giannis will take over Jokic will take over a portion of that. because they're still overlapping LeBron. But, the new guys here, he's in San Antonio. That's the expectation. Like, he's going to be the face of the league in 5 years when there's no LeBron James and Anthony Davis is in the tail end of his career. And, all of these guys are ended. I think Wembanyama is a unique player. And if he continues to mature on the skill sets that he already has, he'll be the guy.
After he finished with his playing career, NBA legend Kevin Garnett found himself on podcasts talking all things considering the NBA. From guest appearances to hosting his KG Certified, the big ticket never fails to entertain us. Listen to KG tell a story and talk about who Victor Wembanyama reminds him of.
Remember when Yao Ming played his first game against Sean Bradley? And Sean Bradley was beasting him, beat his shit up. I think he pushed him down one time. No shit. Go look this up. Real shit. Look, I think he pushed him down. I think Yao fell.
Bradley?
Listen, Sean Bradley, bro, they played a back-to-back game. I'll never forget this. I was like, damn, he kind of beat. I said it. He beast. Damn, he beast, big fella. Damn. Yeah. Lord, the very next night. Matter of fact, at the end of that first game, I think it was in Dallas, Steve Francis went over and grabbed Yao's head, and they're like forehead to forehead, and you can see Steve Francis' hand, and he's animated. Man, I don't know what Jeff Van Gundy, I don't know what Steve Francis, I don't know what Cat Mobley, I don't know what they did to big fella, but the very next night, man, Yao Ming destroyed Sean Brown. I'm talking about banging him, yeah. And one him, yeah. And Yao Ming played like that forever. That's what Wemby looks like. He came in, like Bambi, fragile legs, you know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of fog. He had, dipped his head through the fog. Bro, I saw it.
You saw it?
I saw the alien. I saw it.
Carmelo Anthony is one of the purest hoopers that the game of basketball has ever seen. During the 2003-04 NBA season, he was in a tight race with LeBron James for the Rookie of the Year award, something similar to the Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren race in 2023-24. Melo knows what's up and what it takes to be great, and shared his word of advice for Wemby in an episode of his 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. He and Bomani Jones started off by trolling the Spurs a little bit for not passing the ball to Victor Wembanyama.
He also a rookie though. He's also he gotta really work his way. Like you got niggas on their team that's making niggas just sign for $400 million. But that's how he Pop though. Pop like, yo, listen.
Pop is on some.
We're not gonna play through you. Like we not gonna play. You know what I'm saying? We gonna play around you because I know your skill set. I know you don't need the ball to be effective. Pop put you in those positions. I'm not saying that I agree with what's happening.
Yeah, but
I comprehend what's happening.
You get it, yeah.
I want to see him go to work. Go down there, get it. Wherever you want to go, here. I'm throwing it to you. Wemby, you got to take your time. We all got to go through it in sports.
Oh, yeah.
As an athlete, you have, no matter how good you are, you have to go through it. Wemby, he has that in him. Like, I want to beat. Yeah, I want to beat this, but he's also a certain type of player mentally, like his mentality. He comes from playing the right way. He comes from France where they play the right, run plays. That's why Pop put that playing order from 3-4 years ago, right? So if you get somebody like DJ who comes back to that and know that system already, and Wemby don't have to, he not gonna be mad that the ball is in DJ hands.
Right. He's like,
because he understands that. So I'm not mad at him going back to San Antonio, but I also know what he's thinking as far as it's time for me to make that decision. My next decision is going to be my best decision.
Gilbert Arenas has had his fair share of controversial takes about European NBA players. However, he has admitted that he is a fan of Victor and would like to see him succeed. In order to do so, he needs to work on his flaws. And this is what Agent Zero believes is Victor's biggest flaw.
You know what's crazy though? As somebody who possibly might win the Defense Player of the Year, low-key, everybody's hit their career high on him. Everybody's hit their career high on him. As a one-on-one defender, he still needs help, right? He still needs help as a one-on-one defender. Right now, most defensive players, they are help defenders, but I don't think people actually understand that. Yep. Like Rudy Gobert is a great help defender. He understands how to protect the paint. Same thing as Wemby. Same thing as
Serge Ibaka was that.
Serge Ibaka, yeah. Ben Wallace was that. Yeah. On the ball, when someone's backing you down and sitting there putting you under the rim and stuff, your defense usually is questionable.
When a great young prospect shows up on the biggest stage, it is very common for them to get compared to other players that they share some similarities with. As Victor is truly a unicorn, there is not really one player in particular that you can compare him to. However, Shaq tried and gave us a very interesting comparison, to say the least.
Well, a few things he's going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn that with him being the new kid on the block and everybody's coming at his head, he's going to have to be a little bit aggressive. They're going to try to use physicality. Right here, don't ever in your life let a little man put you out and then you come up and take this shot and then you flimsy go to the hole. No, you got to be strong. And right here, don't let another skinny guy push you. You got to be physical. Like if they're going to be physical with you, you have to return the physicality. Right here, you run. Now look, when you run, you stop in the middle of the floor. Stop right there. Don't, but no, he decides to come out. And right here, forget that little double team. Just turn around like my good guy Bo would do and shoot over the top. And then I want to go at Reggie a little bit. He talks about he's never seen a guy like Wembanyama. Yes, you have. His name is Bo.
You think Bo? Let me finish my point. You think Bo black or something?
No, let me finish my point. Wembanyama is just way more consistent than Bo. But Bo is the first 7'4" that we see with him. Yes, it is.
First of all, that's no.
That's not true. Wembanyama is way more consistent than Bo. Bo is the first 7'4" guy that we've seen come out with the handle, shoot the threes. Yes, y'all acting like y'all ain't never seen a guy like that before. Bo's the first guy. That's all I'm saying. I'm standing on what I'm saying.
Okay, Kenny, well you stand.
And Kenny and Ernie agrees with me. Bo is the first guy.
Lack of
Bo just don't play hard. That's all. Yeah. Bo is the first big guy with 7'4" with handles that can shoot the three, passing ability. Y'all act like y'all ain't never.
Well, no, I didn't say no. I didn't say 4. No, I said Ralph Sampson.
7'4".
Ralph Sampson didn't dribble like this kid.
Chuck did not agree with this comparison that Shaq gave us whatsoever. However, he did agree with the introduction Shaq made about Wemby not being aggressive enough.
Let me just say something. I will say, Shaq, I did like his pitch because there's 2 problems I had with him in the first half. Number one, he's really lackadaisical. You see those little passes, they might work over in the French league. They're not going to work in the United States because the guys are too good. You got to quit. You got to be aggressive when you make passes out of double team. And Shaq had a great point. I mean, the other point about Bol, I don't agree with that at all. When they had Eric Gordon on him, he didn't just go in the lane and just you 7'4", 7'5", just stand there. You can't let Eric Gordon, because they ran a play and took him back out to the three-point line. You cannot let little guys guard you.
Chuck is usually pretty rational with his takes and does not buy the hype. That was the case when Wemby was the big talk of the league before playing in his first NBA game, and Chuck pointed out that he needs to see him play first in order to buy it.
I'm very excited to see him play, but like I say, we don't know these guys until they start playing against other NBA players. Pretty sure there was no Joker in the summer league. Seriously, no LeBron, no Anthony Davis, and I'm not. There was no Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. And trust me, he's a center. Pretty sure there was no Joel Embiid over there either, in France either. So I'm looking forward to watching him play. It'd be great if he's great, but like I say, man, you got to wait and see.
It did not take long for Wembanyama to make Paul Pierce a fan of his. After an impressive debut game for Victor, Paul Pierce was left impressed and had some words of praise for Victor.
Well, first of all, everybody knows there's a difference from preseason to regular season. Minutes for the starters go up, and you match up with the guys who are the stars who will be on the court for 30-plus minutes. I was thoroughly impressed for the minutes that he gave me. Overall, at the beginning, I was like, oh, he's going through some growing pains, foul trouble. He has to get used to the NBA refereeing and the physicality. But then he had like a Zion-like debut in the fourth quarter. Remember when Zion came in? It was like he was coasting through the first 3 quarters and fourth quarter. It looked like he was about to will his team to victory. I mean, he came in, knocked down some threes, blocked some shots. And in the defensive side of the ball, that's where I was thoroughly impressed. Look at this. He blocks Kyrie's shot from the wing, and then he makes threes effortlessly. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, he could be the rookie of the year and defensive player of the year all in the same year. He has that type of potential because when I watched him, you cannot score on this guy one-on-one. He can guard 1 through 5 positions. We watched him guard Kyrie right here. He's not going to drive him. He's just going to go to a step to the side, pull up, and he contests the shots that he's not blocking. He's altering. He's discouraging guys from going at the rim, shooting layups. I mean, it's impressive the impact he has on that side of the ball. And just think about it. He's still wet behind the ears. He doesn't even know the NBA game yet. And he's just been that impressive.
Safe to say, Wemby is legit, and these ex-NBA players know it. With a prospect that good, it would be a shame to hate and disregard his current and potential greatness. Let's wish all the best to Wemby and the Spurs, so we can enjoy watching some great basketball for years to come.